Hey y'all, welcome to your Bread for Today channel. I'm Tonisha, and your bread for today from the verse of the day is keep seeking, and it comes from Jeremiah 29:13, and it reads, "And ye shall seek me and find me when you shall search for me with all of your heart." And so we know this chapter, right, 29:11, in the previous verses, God already gave us a promise of an expected end. So now God gives us this part, right, in our part. And the Bible is full of our part in the Bible, right? The if then statements, if you love me, keep my commandments. So God never lets us off the hooks in the terms of the things that we need to be doing. So there's always a role that we have to play. And so to seek God with all of your heart means just to set your affections on God, right? We like to say we love everything. I love my car, I love my cat, I love my house, right? But what does that even mean, right? And where does your contentment come from? So if your affection is then to be appreciative of everything, then that's seeking God with all your heart. We like to think of it as, when my life is going right, then my seeking and searching must be good. And if my life is not going so good and how I want it, then it must be, my seeking and searching must be bad. And I found too that when my heart is not right, then that's when it feels like God is distant, when I'm focused on too much of what I want versus the perfect expected end that God is trying to bring me to, then that's when the discomfort and distortions and ultimately the lies about, what my life is and what I'm doing, that's when all of that confusion and stuff tries to come in. But I know that God created, right, everything else before he even created the humans. So once we got here, it was time to enjoy this life, right? We have trees, we have that create oxygen that we don't even have to participate in, right? So God has thought all of this out. So it's not even, so in terms of the seeking, right, it's not a game of hide and go seek, because God has already promised that he never leave us nor forsake us, right? Seeking God with all of our heart then is the daily acknowledgement that, listen, I didn't create none of this, but it's all available to me, right? I can participate in the creation that God has given, and I can also try to be the best version and representative of who God has made me to be, right? That understanding that God is not a static being, right, but living and active in all of the things. That's why I have so many living things around me, because I have to remind myself that God is active in all of that. So a heart rightly postured toward God is the insistence on finding God even in the mundane, in the eating, breathing, working, resting. All of that helps us to be present one day at a time. Keep seeking your bread for today.